Executives come to me because they feel invisible. I have the ultimate invisible career. I've been a ghostwriter for 10 years. My name's Alexander Lewis, and I've worked with FAANG and Fortune 100 executives and startup founders with over $100 million exits. In this video, I'm going to talk about the pressures on executives to be the public face of their companies in an influencer and AI-saturated world. And then I'll explain what I call the ACE framework of executive-led marketing and why it works for busy executives today. Let's do it. An executive told me a few weeks ago that he hates posting online because he feels like everything on the internet is too dumbed down, too no-duh. Then when he posts something that is deeply researched, something he spent hours refining, all he hears are crickets. You see this person and instantly understand why they don't post much. The downside is easy to see. They put in a lot of work for an ego hit. And the upside, well, there isn't one. He is using his expertise, but not being recognized for it. Many people simply choose not to post, but after a certain seniority, publishing stops being optional. Business leaders are expected to be public figures. It's now part of their job. You're expected to speak and write publicly to hit outcomes, improve recruiting, close sales, attract investors, set company culture, and draw interest from the media. And these aren't just empty, vague marketing strategies. According to the Financial Times, executives on average receive 4 times the reach of other LinkedIn users. And that's just LinkedIn. Executives get more exposure than anyone else nearly across the board. They have unfair advantages when it comes to publishing and getting the word out about their companies. A few years ago, I spoke with the CEO of a fintech startup. They hired me to consult on the launch of a new product, and I was interviewing the CEO to understand their company. Shortly into our conversation, I asked one of my standard questions. How do customers find you? I loved the CEO's answer. He said their marketing strategy is just one member of their executive team who golfs every week with the leaders of major banks. He shares tea times with the most in-demand people in finance. That's their marketing strategy. Very relatable, right? Obviously no, not on the surface, but I like this story because it captures something useful for anyone in a leadership role. You may not share tea times with your ideal customers, but you do have multiple unfair advantages when it comes to big things like sales, recruiting, marketing, and fundraising. That's why you have the job. It's your network. It's your expertise. It's your ability to get into the right rooms. It's also why executives are expected to speak publicly and to publish. You have unfair advantages of access and foresight from working heads down in your industry for so long. But it's one thing to share tea times with your ideal customers. It's another thing to become a public figure and feel comfortable writing op-eds and appearing on camera. Most executives I work with were never media trained. They aren't aspiring to be influencers, and the only marketing strategies they know are the ones used by their faceless company. Executives have all the pressure to be public figures with none of the media strategy they need to do it well. And there's one more problem. Most executives know how they want to be perceived by peers, investors, and customers, but they don't know how to capture it. In-person business leaders often carry what's known as executive presence. They are confident, they speak with nuance, and tackle stressful problems pragmatically. They're industry leaders who talk eloquently about their work and their company. Many executives wonder if their executive presence will translate to being a public figure. It reminds me of what my high school football coach told us. When you get to the end zone, you're allowed to celebrate, but act like you've been there before. No executive wants to look like a tryhard. They don't want to use fancy hooks that make them look like they're trying to go viral. Executives don't want to look like they're hacking algorithms to eke out a few more views on their latest investment letter. So, how do business leaders become public figures and build real industry authority? Is it even possible to do all of that and still maintain your executive presence? Yes, yes, and yes. But you need a media strategy. You need the ACE framework. ACE is a short acronym for a simple media strategy to help any executive take command of their public voice. ACE stands for Authority, Conversational, and Earned Media. Authority media is the anchor of your media strategy. You create thoughtful, in-depth pieces that take time to create and time to consume. You can think of authority media as anything you create that could be sold as a product. Think keynote speeches, books, industry newsletters. This is the highly polished portion of your media strategy. On the opposite end of the spectrum is conversational media. This is where the executives let loose. You're less polished. Conversational media is often just social media. It's a space where you publish short ideas and stories lightly and regularly. You use this platform for quick feedback and for distributing your best ideas from authoritative media. And finally, there's earned media. Earned media is the signal that your message is resonating with your ideal audience. It's literally the media that you earn by publishing authority and conversational media. Think of viral posts, or journalists asking for your contribution to an article, or an editor accepting your op-ed. Earned media should naturally increase over time if you're nailing authoritative and conversational media. That's ACE. You need each element of the framework as an executive. When you purposely combine authority, conversational, and earned media, you stop relying on algorithmic luck and start scaling actual expertise. You build a public presence that feels less like a desperate plea for attention and more like a natural extension of the leadership you already bring to the boardroom. This is my first video like this. I plan to create a lot more, so follow me on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Visit me at Lewis Commercial Writing. There is so much more to explore on this topic. Talk to you soon.